Hey everybody, this is Jason, Jay's Project Garage. I think Mother Nature's drunk. Yesterday it was almost 60, right now it's in the mid 30s. I don't know. It's Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to everybody. I don't know when this video is going to come out, but still. To start the video, I'm going to do an unboxing. I got a bunch of stuff in for the 69. I like National Parts Depot, NPD. That's where I get a lot of my Mustang parts from anyway. But their service is awesome, their parts are great, their shipping's really fast. I think I ordered this stuff on Monday or Tuesday and it came in Thursday, maybe. But I've already already cut the box with all this, but I haven't even looked in it yet. So we'll be surprised together. The cross member goes between the floor supports. The transmission cross member attaches here and here. The old one is pretty rusty on the ends. It's like 75 bucks. Normally I'm not a parts changer. I like to fix the stuff that I got. But I don't want any problems with this thing down the road. If it was my car, I wouldn't want any problems. So for stuff like this, I'm just gonna spend the 75 bucks and know that I'm never gonna have a problem with it. Mostly in between the floor pan and this, like down in here. I want to be able to go in there and cavity wax it and everything else to make sure that it's never gonna rust again. Monte Carlo bar goes in between the shock towers. I actually bought this for the 65, but I'm going to use it on the 69. These things are great for making sure the shock towers stay where you want them while you're like welding in aprons and that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to use this as kind of a template for this one. Torque box for the driver's side. My only complaint is that in the picture they show these two pieces and they show the little bracket that goes between the strut tower and the frame. It doesn't come that way. All you get is just the torque box. And I think this is the long front to rear, maybe, brake line. So this is going to go from the like the proportioning valve all the way to the back where the hose goes from the body down to the rear end. I didn't buy the pieces for the rear differential because I'm going to make those since we're going to be switching this over to disc brakes. It would have been a waste of money for me to buy the lines for that, because they wouldn't have fit and I would have had to change them up anyway. This is the front brake line set. This is a disc brake car already, so I know all these lines are going to work out fine. The only difference is going to be we're going to be switching out. The master cylinder is going to be different since it's going to be disc front and rear, so the piston size is going to be different, and the proportioning valve is also going to be different. But I think this should be maybe a 6-piece set. Yep, this is the one that goes across the firewall. We'll dig I don't want to get all this stuff out of the box. We'll dig it out and we'll go through it when we're actually ready to install it. But that's the kind of stuff that I like to do before the car gets painted. All the new suspension's going to be on, all the new brake stuff, the lines and all that. I want to try to get as much of that done as I can to limit the chances of me scratching paint, or I don't want to damage anything. So holy smokes, guys, you tore up my catalog. So I've already got a zillion and one catalogs for old Mustangs. but I got one for the Fox body. I want to see what kind of stuff they have. As soon as I'm to a stopping point on this, I'm going to be getting going on that one, and I'll be making videos and stuff about it. And of course the receipts in there. Whenever you guys are working on something for somebody else, make sure you hang on to the receipts. You have a hard time telling somebody how much you spend on parts and having them believe you. I mean, even if it's a buddy. But if you got receipts, there is no arguing. You make sure you get paid for everything. Well, I'm a liar. The torque box did come with the bracket. And what I meant to say before was that this goes between the torque box and the frame rail. And I'll show you exactly where it goes when we go to weld it in. But I was wrong. NPD came through and they included all the parts that were in the picture. This is the Monte Carlo bar that I was just showing you guys. This is basically where it goes. This is a really common problem on these cars. You can see how it won't fit down in between the two aprons. Especially with a 650-pound FE in the front of this thing. The shock towers will actually start moving in towards each other. And we're gonna put an export brace in that'll help, but the Monte Carlo bar helps a lot in keeping the shock towers in the correct position. I may go ahead and use this on this car. I'm not 100% sure. It kind of depends on whether this curve will match because I'm going to put the factory air cleaner and everything back on this. If this will fit, then I'll go ahead and use it because these things are only like 40 bucks, so I can always get another one for the 65. Okay, this is the export brace I was talking about. It basically ties the shock towers into the firewall and it ties the two shock towers together. This is way better than what the early cars had. They just had a single piece that came from the shock tower back to basically the top, or the pinch weld between the cowl and the firewall. Those would twist and bend and they would buckle the firewall and all kinds of stuff. And when the shock towers move, your alignment's all over the place. You're hitting bumps and the shock tower's moving and the car will get squirrely. So we're going to be installing this, and hopefully that Monte Carlo bar will work, and we'll install it, and I'll tie the whole front end together, and these shock towers won't be able to move, and the car will feel a whole lot better when you're going around corners and you're hitting bumps and that kind of stuff. Here's that cross member that I was talking about. It goes underneath the transmission tunnel, and it goes from underfloor support to underfloor support. You can see how rusty and scaly it is in here. I could kind of clean this up in places that I can get to, but the cavity wax isn't going to 100% stop the rust. So I just decided the easiest thing to do would just be to replace it. And that way when I cavity wax it, I'll know that we're going to be rust free and good to go. I'm in a different shirt. It's a different weekend. Like I said in the beginning of all this, it was Easter Sunday. My in-laws were coming over for lunch. So I got kind of tied up and I didn't get to finish last weekend. So this weekend I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. I got to put the hub bearing and the air actuator in my truck. I've been driving the old ass Explorer all week, and it doesn't do any better on gas mileage than my truck does, and it needs suspension work too. So I really kind of want my truck back. I got to do that. I got a bunch of stuff I got to do on the house. I'm getting ready to bury the power from the pole across the road to the house and from the house to the shop to get rid of the overheads, because I'm getting ready to put a huge front porch and stuff on the house, and all that's just in the way. Gonna get going on the 69, get the torque boxes and stuff welded in, and I got a mow and normal dad stuff. But I know before in a couple other videos I had made mention of wanting to do a whole video series on the history of the Ford 302. I don't know, my videos suck enough. I don't need to make one that's 2 hours of some monotone redneck talking about an engine series. I don't know. So what I want to do is I just want to add in tidbits, I guess, as we go. Same with the Mustangs. I'm 49. I've been around these things since I was 15. Some stuff that I've learned over the years. But But instead of doing a whole series on it, I'm just gonna add tidbits in as we go, history lessons or whatever. I'm kind of a history geek. I rubbed off on my daughter. She's actually going to college to be a history teacher. So I guess that's it. Get out in the shop and work on your project. You guys have a great day, and I'll probably see you in a couple hours.